I picked up this board in the clearance aisle. It was 75% off. It says Home Sweet Home. It's got these little engraving in it. So I took my joint compound and just went all over the engraving, just so that you're not going to see that image through my project. I just did that with a spackle knife and allowed it to dry. I gave it a quick sanding, and then I'm going to cover it with Higgins Lake by Wise Owl. I'm using our S30 Klingon brush. You can get this at chocolatefancy.com. And then I'm going to give it another sanding. I found this placemat at Hobby Lobby for $4.99, and I'm going to take the joint compound again and a spackle knife, and I'm going to put it all over the top of this mat. Now, some tips. Make sure you do not use spackle. This is joint compound. It is a little bit on the thicker side. Make sure that you mix it well so it's a little thicker. And you kind of want to just do this gently. You don't want to push, because if you're pushing and packing it in, you're going to get bleed through just like any other stencil. So you just want to place it, and you're going to know if it's not enough because you almost get like an air bubble that you can go back and swipe over. And you don't want, once you cover it, you don't want to go back and add more. Because again, you're just going to push the joint compound down, and it's going to seep under this mat, and you're going to have bleed through. So this is very just like you're going to wipe it on, and then you're going to remove your placemat. And this came out so nice. So I decided to wash my placemat and allow that to dry. And I created these bunny ears. We'll have a PDF with these ears if you need it. And I'm going to use the tracing paper and the carbon paper to get my image of the ears coming out of the top of the egg. Kind of looks like a bunny's hiding behind it concept. So I'm going to start with our black by Wise Owl and an art brush, and I'm going to trace out the ears. And while that's still wet, I'm going to go in with Snow Owl. And once you get to the black, which is still wet, and the Snow Owl meet, it kind of gives you that shadowing. So it's a softer look, but it kind of gives you that dimension and just kind of brings your ears to life a little bit instead of just being like a stamp, if that makes any sense. You most certainly can paint your ears however you want. I'm just telling you how I did mine. I started with the black. While that was still wet, I filled in with the Snow Owl. And then as I came to the edge, the black and the white kind of created that chalky look. So it's a little softer. And gave some life and dimension to his ears. Once that's dried, I took my clean mat and placed it back down on the dried joint compound. I mixed my Republic Red and the Snow Owl, and I'm doing a dusting over this. I'm not going to get full coverage. It's just going to be almost a dry brush of this pink tone. And I covered the entire egg and then lifted that up and allowed it to dry. I did a little dry brush of the pink going through his ears. And now I'm going to use our Gilding Wax. This is in the copper. And I'm just putting it on my finger. And I'm just going over the raised flowers, the raised areas. This is not going to give you full coverage. It's just going to give you that shimmer. I did a little bit in the center of the flowers. And this just brought out the details. I was concentrating a lot on the larger flowers. I had this thankful left over from Thanksgiving. I know I got this at least for 50% off from Hobby Lobby. And I painted it black. And then I'm going to glue it to the top of my board. And now you have this porch leaner, or you can hang it on your wall for Easter. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. For other tutorials, go check us out on YouTube. You can now watch all our videos at chalkitupfancy.com. For any paint products, tissue paper transfer, or mesh stencils, chalkitupfancy.com. Thank you so much.